So in Season 8, it's going to be kind of weird because in Diamond and above, there is no longer the performance-based SR system. But in everywhere below Diamond, there still is. So it's very similar to the previous seasons in, that way below Diamond, but above Diamond, it's very different. So what should you do, and how should you play, and how should you prepare to try to get to Diamond, and I guess beyond that as well? And today I want to talk to you guys about that, and talk to you guys about the 2 ways that I feel like you could try to go about getting to Diamond, what the benefits of them are, pre-Diamond, post-Diamond, everything like that, and here we are with those. So I'm just going to come out and say both of them, and then kind of go a little bit deeper into each. But one of the ways is to either try to abuse the performance-based SR system like you have in the past, or play in a way that prepares you for post-Diamond. And I think those are the 2 main things to try to go for. Now, I think playing in a way to prepare for post-Diamond is a lot more just appealing if you're already in Platinum, while the other one's probably a lot more appealing if you're in like Bronze, Silver, or Gold. But I'm going to go over both, and really I'd say you can, go out and do whatever you want to try to rank up, but these are probably the main ways I'm going to see a lot of people trying to rank up. So first off, trying to abuse the performance-based SR system. This has been what's been in the game forever. How good you do in a round is how much extra SR you lose, or how much extra SR you don't lose from a loss in a game. We all know this. We all know that it's pretty annoying to deal with in a lot of cases, but it does help you a lot if you want to rank up, and especially if you're very good at the game. And that's why they don't want to remove it before Diamond, because they want the people that are very good, like Smurfs and everything, to get out of Diamond really quickly. But what should you do if you want to try to abuse the performance-based SR system? So the first thing I'm going to say to you guys is, of course, one trick a hero, and preferably a DPS or Mercy. Mercy for the longest time has just been able to rank up really easily with the one trick. I don't know why, it's just how the system works. Maybe it's because she gets so much more healing than all the other supports. Maybe it's the reses. I don't know. She's probably just the best support to rank up with though. And of course, playing a DPS, you can get the highest stats, most damage, most elims, and if you have very high compared to everyone else in your rank, that's going to help you get up there. And as well, we can't forget the one-tricking heroes makes you get better at the game a lot faster because you're only playing one hero. So there you go. I guess that's kind of a benefit about trying to abuse the performance-based system. It can kind of help you with that. As well, if you're trying to abuse the performance-based system, make sure to focus on your gameplay alone and try to maximize your damage, your healing over anything else. Just make sure that you are playing to the best of your abilities every single game, and don't really care about your team comp way too much. Don't really care about what's going on way too much. Just kind of focus on yourself and focus on improving yourself and getting better and better and better, improving your stats. And that's just kind of how the performance-based SR system is going to boost you pretty quickly. As well, make sure to try to be really aggressive in your games, actually. Taking a lot of damage on the enemies, taking a lot of big damaging risks, those are going to benefit you in a lot of cases from the performance-based SR system. And while in a lot of cases, they aren't going to be the best ideas, they can put you in situations where you're going to have to learn how to play a lot better, especially if you're someone like Genji or Tracer, to make it out of that. And I guess that could kind of help you in the long run, if you think about that, I guess. As far as team comps go, just don't really care about your team comp way too much. As long as you can get your main hero and the team comp isn't completely terrible, that's good enough. And as long as you can get above 50% win rate, or even below 50%, but you have very good stats, you're still probably going to rank up eventually if you really are as good as you think that you are. As far as team comp though, I guess if you want to make sure to try to get at least one thing on your team, try to get a Winston or an Orisa every single game if you are maining DPS. That allows so that there's a good anchor tank or at least a really good dive tank for you to go in with and to play safe around. Overall, if you can get at least one tank, try to get one of those. Otherwise, you can just play with really just whatever team comp you really want to. Thinking about your gameplay though, I think that's the thing you have to keep in mind. Every single game, think about how you can make less mistakes. Think about how you can get more damage out and think about how you could do better yourself. I think trying to abuse the system can help you a lot in this way. And if you don't think that you're that great of a player, maybe this is what you want to do. Now, there are some problems, but I guess I'll talk about those in a second. Don't play situational heroes is another thing I'm going to say to you guys. If you want to just try to abuse the performance-based SR system, you can play situational heroes. And in some cases, like Sombra, for certain players, it can really help boost your SR because most people aren't doing that great with them. So, even if you have a negative win rate, you can still climb pretty quickly because your stats are good by comparison to everyone else. But in general, it seems just easier for a lot of players to become good at meta heroes and just climb up like that because meta heroes usually have higher stats than other heroes that aren't really that great. And finally, a lot of people that I see one-tricking and just trying to abuse the performance-based SR system, they don't use voice chat much with this strategy, and instead, you just focus on yourself again. Don't try to make way too many calls. You still can if you want to, but focus on what you're doing and how you can just mainly just make as many outplays as you humanly possibly can. Now, that's how you do it, but of course there are some big problems. One, you're going to be a really toxic player and cause a ton of problems and be one of the players that I personally hate playing with because you're really hard to fit into a team comp. But whatever, I mean, I guess if you really want to climb, you can take that as a bad thing, and if you just don't care about other people, there you go. That can kind of hurt yourself. Another thing is that once you do get into Diamond, it can be kind of hard for you because everyone's going to start playing more as a team, trying to get good team comps and trying to just make good plays, and you're probably going to hurt the team more than you're going to help the team in a lot of situations, especially if you're just making a really terrible team comp, because I think, again, that's going to really matter the higher rank you go, and of course, your stats won't matter at all once you get to Diamond, so even if you are a very good player, if you are any good at making shot calls, or if you always make a terrible team comp, you're going to lose a lot of games, and losing games is all that matters. Winning and losing is all that matters, not your stats. So that is a big problem for you if you are trying to pick this up. And finally, once you get to Diamond, again, your personal stats won't matter. So if you have a below 50% win rate, you're not going to stay in Diamond for way too long. So there you go with that. That can be kind of hard, but I guess you can at least get to Diamond. And if all you really want to do is just to get to Diamond and that's it, and then stop playing, trying to abuse the personal based performance system can probably work for a lot of players, as it has in the past. So there you go with that. Even though I personally don't like this system, I still have to kind of advertise that it does work, because it does work, at least pre-Diamond. It doesn't even exist post-Diamond anymore, but pre-Diamond, it does work. Now, the second way to play that I personally prefer, but maybe it won't help a few of you guys actually, is trying to play in a way that prepares you for post-Diamond. Now, I'm going to talk about some problems again with this later, but there are a lot of really good things about this, and this is kind of how you play to prepare for post-Diamond. So first off, make sure that you're playing at least 3 heroes, preferably from at least 2 different roles. So 2 tanks, 1 support, 2 DPS, 1 tank, anything like that, just so that you can at least fit a decent amount of team comps pretty well, and you just kind of aren't screwing your team with a really bad team comp by always only playing Reaper, even though you don't need him at all. That can be kind of hard for your team to play out with, and especially post-Diamond, where, you know, you just need to win the game as a team, and your stats don't matter. That can be kind of hard for yourself. Now, I'm going to mention something right now. It might take quite a while to rank up with 3 heroes. It might take a little bit longer than just spamming 1 hero, and it will take a lot of effort to become good at 3 different heroes, but I feel like you're generally going to improve more at the game in general, understand the game, and, you know, while it might not be as quick as the other way, I feel like it'll be a lot funner, obviously, because you'll have a lot less toxic of a time. Now, another thing that you want to try to do if you're playing in a way that, you know, in bronze, silver, gold, platinum, whatever, that you want to play and prepare for post-Diamond, if you're thinking that you're maybe going to be able to get there and try to climb out of there, is to try to play a way that tries to just make you win more from callouts than from your personal play. Try to tell your teammates, hey, let's try this. Let's go over here. Let's wait up. Let's deathball together. Let's dive on this target, this target, this target. Let's save our ultimates. Just say stuff in voice chat, or if you can't, at least try to type stuff. But try to make good callouts and try to win that way. Because in a lot of cases, that's how you can win a game by itself. And while you still need to focus on your personal play at least a little bit, that can be a way to help your team win, especially if you're playing something like support or tank, especially if you're like a Reinhardt or a Lucio or anything like that. Now, I do have to mention again, though, please do try to improve on yourself. You still do need to improve if you're playing a way that is post-Diamond, because, you know, everybody in Diamond is pretty dang good, but still focus on other things. Look at the big picture, such as team comps, maps, what's going to fit here, what's going to fit there, what different route we should go in with our certain team comp, just kind of how you want to play the map, and maybe start talking to their teammates. Hey guys, let's push right at the beginning. And even with just something as simple as that, everybody pushing right, that can win you the game in itself, because if no one knows where to go and if there's just really no plan, it's just kind of a cluster of not really knowing what's going on. So try to do that, and while you should try to improve yourself, try to improve your shot calling as well, as I just barely said. Doing with somebody else, I think, is also something that is pretty important if you are trying to prepare for post-Diamond. A lot of people in Diamond duo queue, and I think it's a really good thing to get used to, especially if you're playing support or tank. In a lot of cases, if you're duoing as a support or tank with a DPS, you can carry really, really quickly with you guys. Even if your DPS isn't like a master level DPS, even if they really do fit in Diamond, you can make a lot of plays with them, a lot of calls with them. You can make sure that your DPS is always alive. If you're Zenyatta, you can really just organize your Discord orders with your DPS. It fits really, really well. So I'm saying if you're one of these side classes like support or tank, maybe try to duo queue with a DPS, and that just makes all games at least a possible win. And in most elos, you know, people do try to duo. In Diamond Plus, though, I'd say that's still something that you should try to do and get used to, especially if you want to try to just shot call a lot and have somebody else that can help you, I guess, a little bit. Trying to get your aim down is something that does apply to everything, but remember that if you're in Diamond, if your aim's worse than everybody else, you're going to kind of be in trouble. So make sure that's up to par, and just kind of look at what's the average diamond aim, and just, I don't know, try to do as best as you possibly can to prepare for being post-diamond. Of course, one trick and one hero will probably help with that, but even just playing a lot of different heroes might help a little bit more, because maybe you play Zarya, who needs to track a lot, and that'll help with everybody's aiming. That can be kind of nice. Positioning, something that you should also keep in mind when you're trying to prepare for post-diamond. Make sure you aren't always positioning super offensively. It can work, but oftentimes against good players and masters and grandmasters, you're going to get picked a lot. And while that maybe wouldn't happen in bronze, silver, gold, or platinum, it might happen here. And, you know, you don't really need the extra stats from getting a ton of extra random useless damage that you're adding to your damage dealt, because that extra stat doesn't matter post-diamond. Just play a little bit more defensively and make sure to just make shot calls and not just randomly take damage for no reason that your support is just going to kind of have to waste their time healing. Finally, try to build a team comp with everybody on your team with their most played heroes, or at least if you see a team comp that maybe you think could work on your team, try to pick a hero that you feel like could probably help with that. Like, let's say again, you have a Tracer and a Genji player, and you have one Mercy player, and you have a Winston and Diva. Maybe you could go Zenyatta, or maybe you could load Lucio and kind of help with the dive comp in that situation. Just try to pick characters that can help your team do better, and that's generally how I feel like Diamond's going to kind of work from now on. While personal skill is still going to be very important, and you still will have to practice that a lot, getting good team comps and getting shot calls, that's going to be a thing you have to focus on a lot. It's not going to be as beneficial before Diamond, but if you can get good at that while you're in these previous ranks, it's something that's going to be important for you once you finally get to that rank. And finally, I should mention one thing. A lot of people post-Diamond still do just spam 1, 2, or 3 heroes, so maybe that will work for you. If you do just like to play one hero, you like to one-trick somebody, or maybe just main one character and then play some other characters, of course, still try to fit team comps if you can. Try to make team comps. Try to do shot calls. Try to put a lot of effort into the entire game, not just your own personal gameplay. But you still can mainly play one hero. A lot of people find it kind of toxic, but it still is an opportunity that you might be able to go for. And finally, here's some problems about preparing for post-Diamond. One, it is probably going to take you a lot longer to rank up. It's going to take a lot more time. It's going to take a lot more effort. You're going to have to think just how the game works a lot more, and what your shot calls are doing, and what they mean, and when you should be shot calling, and what you should be shot calling. It's going to take a lot of time and effort and a lot of gameplay to kind of get used to this. So you're going to kind of have to focus on everybody instead of just yourself, which can be kind of hard. And as well, you're going to have to put more time in by playing multiple heroes. And as well, for a lot of players, you might get stuck for quite a while in one elo that you fit in right then. Maybe your gameplay is at platinum, and you might be stuck there for a while until you finally get your shot calling up to a certain point where it can kind of overlap your gameplay. And as well, though, you should always be practicing your gameplay a little bit, but it will take a lot more time than just trying to abuse the SR system. So that's really the big problem. I feel like preparing for post-Diamond will help you a lot by shaving off time later on, but I guess if you want Diamond right now, it might be really hard for you to do. But I feel like in the long run, it's probably more important. So I guess kind of think to yourself, do I care more about just getting there and giving up, or do I want to try to continue the grind, continue to just try to go up and up and up and play like that? Those are the two main ways that I see this, and as well, there are just infinite shades of gray in between, but you can just kind of figure out that yourself, I guess. These are just the two main ways that I kind of think about it, but again, you can do whatever you really want. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you all for watching. This was just my video about how to get to Diamond. Sorry I didn't give way too many exact gameplay tips like I usually do in these videos, but this season is quite a bit different, so I hope that this helped at least a little bit. Sorry as well, it was a little bit long, but, I'll try to shave it off a little bit in the next one. And, just pick whatever you feel like works for you, and if you have something in between, again, do whatever you want. And if you have any other strategies that you feel like will work in Season 8, please leave them in the comment section down below, as we're all trying to help each other. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you all for watching. Press that like button if you enjoyed. Press the subscribe button and the notification button. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.